What do you know about wood carving? Surely you know that there's different tools involved and different woods and techniques. But after that, what do you know? Well, I'm glad you're sitting here today, because I plan on teaching you all a thing or two about this master craft. So let's start chipping away at the history of wood carving, and let's start creating a stop cut and slicing away at the tools and wood to get started. And then let's start sanding down the burrs and be left with the rough out on how you guys can get active in this great community. Wood carving can be dated back to 14th century BC in Egypt. According to Live Science, it was found on King Tut's tomb with little lions on the bottom of his camping bed of all things. Then, jumping over from Egypt, we head over to Greece and the Vikings. Greece from the 700 to 480 BC, and the Vikings from 793 to 1066 AD. The Vikings simply didn't just see wood as a building material, but much rather as a religious way of life, and they saw that wood could be used to create religious idols, and that's what they did with it. Then, jumping over from the Vikings, we head over to the 15th to 17th century to the Baroque period, in which it was a period of prosperity and people saw the natural beauty in things. People started adorning everything they could with wood carvings and carvings of all shapes and colors. And according to Smart History, that period was just one of prosperity. That brings us to the 21st century, where people such as Wood Carving Illustrated have different carvings, such as the one before you, where they have realistic carvings and then character carvings, where they take everything that came before them and they just kind of combine it together and put it in their own style. Jumping over from carving, I'd like to take a moment to talk about the different tools and woods involved. So let's open our toolbox and get unpacked. Personally, getting started, I just use a knife and then a straight gouge. But according to Alex Renee at Popular Mechanics, there's tons of different sets and tools that you guys can use to get started. But you might not be able to do that because you might not have the money or you might not want to get involved just yet. But in my opinion, you might just want to use a sharp carving knife, a straight gouge, a U gouge, and a V gouge to get started. Of course, you want to use a glove so you don't get cuts like these. And then afterwards, with the woods that you'd want to use, beginning carver would always want to use soft woods. But the woods you'd want to use would be cottonwood, also known as countable spark, and then basswood. Basswood cuts really easily in both directions, and if you can get a sharp enough knife, it doesn't split the grain. The woods you wouldn't want to use would be pine and walnut, because walnut splits really easily, and if you hit it at just the right spot, you can ruin an entire project. Heading over from the wood part of our section, I'd like to talk about the clubs and organizations you can use to get involved. There's many clubs and organizations, but the one that I know that's closest to us is the MAWA, or Mid-American Woodcarvers Association. According to the MAWA website, they meet at Augustina Lutheran Church every first and third weekend of the month, and they have many events you can go to. I've attended many of these events, such as the Doan Experience at Doan College in Crete, Nebraska, and the Fall Show at the German American Society in Omaha, Nebraska. Now, there's a lot of great carvers there, and you'll meet a lot of great people. But honestly, if you want to just get your name out there, just go there and let people know that you want to become a carver. Now, to recap, we talked about the history of wood carving, the tools and woods you can use to get started, and how you guys can get active. And I appreciate you all listening today, and I hope you take a little bit more consideration looking into carvings the next time you go to a wood carving show or go to an event.